All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. All right, being eclipsed by the big red road beast, it's time to show you a thing of beauty. Yep, finally getting around to the project of my TT. I think I gotta wash my bike. Oh yeah, put some cat whiskers on it. There, first mod of the year. Okay, so I already checked the oil. I got booster cables out. I am going to take my key and I am going to, wait a minute, gotta find my dude. Oh, I locked it on myself. Don't lock it on myself there. There we go. That was more difficult than it needed to be. All right, so my battery is toast from last year, or just a couple of years now. I haven't rode this thing since 2018. Yeah, I know, shame on me. And I'm just getting around to it now. That's the problem when you don't low on funds. You can never get things done in time. So I'm gonna boost it. I'm gonna try a boost, see if it'll run. And if it runs, great. I'm not anticipating it will. The fuel's a little bit old, but that don't matter. That thing burns old fuel, no problem. I will put a fresh tank. What I did is each year I put a fresh tank in there no matter what. Even if I run it or not. And that way I don't have to worry about old varnishy fuel. Because I do have fuel stabilizer in there, but check the oil. Better check my ride. Okay. That level looks pretty low, but that could be somewhere inside the bike too. So, yeah, because that wouldn't just run low anyway, so stuff doesn't evaporate. So I'm going to try a quick start on it with the boosting it off the truck. And look at that, nice. Ain't that beautiful? If I can get it going, great. If it does get going and it runs on the 2 cylinders, it looks like, wow, I have to re-safety this bike anyway. And basically, I probably don't know if that back tire is going to pass or not. I don't think it will. It's just at that limit where it either will make the grade or not. But I hate to get rid of a tire like that because it's like there's still tread on it, right? But tires are your life, brakes are your life. So I'll be testing all that stuff out. I don't have a manual for this, so if somebody has a link to the manual's was $128 for this thing. And you know, I didn't know what the future of this bike's going to be, but it's too dandy of a machine to get rid of, so it's worth investing in. And the TTs haven't went up in price. The 995s are ridiculous, almost about half their original value, some of them, if they're in great shape. This one's not all original, so it'll never be in that shape, but it is getting a bike that if you've ever ridden one, there's nothing more glorious than going through corners with this thing. It is so smooth. Engine smooth. For a bike with no steer dampening on it whatsoever, it's smooth up to 1.5 tons. Hypothetically. So it's a crazily awesome bike. It's just, I don't know why it's running on 2 cylinders, and I still got to figure out if I can fix this speedo, or if it's kind of just, you know, the glitch got it. And Triumph used this speedo on, well, pretty much all their bikes from that era. So this is a 99 to 2002 model. However, this is titled as a 2003 because it was mid-production run in 2003 before they switched over to the new bikes, which were essentially exactly the same. Bodywork was different, and they added a blow-off valve onto the heads, and there was like very few changes from the 2002 model to the 2003. But this is titled as a 2003 just because, and run production. You know, they don't throw parts away, right? So, but the speedo. What's happening with my speedo is, no matter where, my RPM gauge is working fine when the bike's running properly. But what happens is the speedo, you could be doing 110 kilometers an hour or 100 kilometers an hour, the speed limit, and it will show 15 and 31 and then 22 and then 18, and it bounces all over the place. Now, this is electronic. It's not the old-fashioned speedo cable right into the engine. I think it's all digital except for this is, you know, analog here. I believe that's the cable there. No, that's not. That's my brake cable. That's not even close. That's probably when you don't have a manual. I have to figure out, you have to kind of like backtrack everything to see where everything goes. But I'm gonna go, this bike might, I don't know if it's gonna go on the road this year. I have two options. I don't have the money to pay people to get it fixed. I have to fix it myself. Otherwise, I would pay somebody else to take care of my problems for me. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. I don't mind if this bike doesn't go on the road this year, but if it doesn't go on the road this year, I'm going to take it right down and zero time it. Basically, I'm going to do this right from the swing arm, pull that out, re-grease that, wheel bearings, either put in new wheel bearings if they require, if not, just grease them, head bearings if they need them, whatever. So this bike's going to get torn down to, like, it's basic, and then I'll go over every connector with some wire connector cleaner, test everything, you know, like, again, take my time with it, right? So it's like, when you're trying to ride a machine and put it on the road at the same time, it never works out. It's best to have a backup machine. So maybe what might happen with this is this might become a long-term project. And so if I don't ride it this year, I ride it next year. It is a very expensive bike to insure. Cheap to run, but in other aspects. I think it scratches on my tank. I don't know how that happened, but. So I'm just going to try a quick boost on it. Last year, it tried to run and it backfired. So again, this bike has been sitting for, 3 years and, attempted running and, each spring I just haven't gotten around to it. Again, no money to fix it type of thing, but it's the type of bike that it's worth fixing because I have a hunch these TT600s are going to, like, suddenly one day people are going to just say, those things are so damn cool, I'll give you $10,000 for it. You'd say that'll never happen. Ducati 916, brand new. What were they? 12 grand back in 1994 when they came out. Yeah, go price one now. They're almost recouped. Some of them are even more expensive than what they were new. You say, yeah, but that's a Ducati. Okay, Triumphs, any model of Triumph, it's, none of them really lose that much value. Like they tend to fall to a certain value and stay there. These things are in the $3 grand, $2 grand to $3 grand kind of market for a decent one, right? A fixer-upper is like $1,500, that type of thing. I got this one a little over $3. Safety on the road, whatever. I got it for $2,900 plus tax, and so it worked out about $3,400. And it was good, pretty good. It never left me anywhere, so I was lucky that way. It is a Triumph, so obviously there's quirks and quirks that only Triumph can manufacture. Pick a Triumph, any Triumph. It doesn't matter if it's a car or a bike. If it's a Triumph, there's quirks and quirks about it. But But like I say, everything else about it is just absolutely awesome. And when you pull up places, it doesn't matter who you pull up beside, they're interested in it. Not just because of the paint, but it's this. This right here makes the bike. You know what I mean? It's so loud. It's not too big, but it's big enough that it catches your attention. And yeah, a lot of people have asked me about this windscreen. No, this is not a stock one. It's a UK something on it. I don't know where they got it. Maybe it was an upgrade from Triumph, but mine's a little more pronounced, as you can see, like a Ducati, rather than just that kind of like straight across. So it's a lot nicer than the original one. Parts are still kind of hard to get because, number one, it's an import for here in Canada, and number two, it's an older bike, so there's not a lot of them out there. So at some point every year there's going to be less and less and less of these things. So at some point they go through the roof just because you just ain't going to see one anywhere. So it is worth it to put some money into it. If I need a CDI box, maybe I can talk to some really good bike gurus on, okay, how do you make this thing more reliable than stock? I don't care about speed. This thing is plenty fast. I don't care about more low-end power. This thing could power wheelie in pretty much any gear if you really greased it. I don't care about that because the bike performs well enough as it is. But I want to do a bunch of other stuff to it, like just tune-up wise, just to know what I'm dealing with. So I want to get the compression done. I'll have to get a compression gauge. I got to get the OBD2 reader, which plugs in right here. I know about Tune ECU. I've got it on my computer. I just don't have the cable to hook it up. So once I do that, I could fuel map it. I could do all that stuff. Chain sprocket's not bad. I got 2 seasons out of that chain and sprocket. I never wheelied the bike purposely, on purpose, and I've never, I don't do burnouts and stuff like that. So my chain is always at proper tension, stuff like that. So I'll probably get another 2 years out of the chain. But after about 2 years, you want to replace your chain anyway. Maybe your sprocket every 3. But you know, or you do like some people, you go until you've got not a sprocket but a rotor. Then you do it that way. So I'm going to leave it at about that. But anyway, I'm going to get this all hooked up. I'll try it, see if it'll backfire or do something, and then I guess I got to drain the fuel out of the tank, figure out where I'm going to put that fuel. I could put it in there. The problem is I don't like to leave the tanks empty for too long, because they'll tend to rust if they're empty too long. So I might not do that today, but basically I'm going to at least try to start it today anyway, and then go from there. All right, there we go.